going to try another one of these Nether-Food challenges. The last time I tried it, my recording got a bit screwed up. So let's give it a shot. The way these work, it's kind of a self-imposed set of rules just to make Minecraft more difficult, because for a lot of us, the game is just too easy. So the rules for this are that you have to create a new world, set it on hard mode. You cannot eat anything until you have grown it yourself in the Nether. You can't take food with you into the Nether. Let's see, I'll explain as I go, but to start off with here, I don't have a lot of time, so grabbing some trees here is going to be very important. And of course the video software is lagging everything. The main things that you have to worry about are, you don't want to have a lot of wasted action. If you waste too much time, jumping around, or you dig too many blocks that you don't really need in the end, all you're doing is dooming yourself, because your food bar is going to run out. All right, let's see here. And seeds are very important, so gonna need some of those. It would be nice if the lag stopped. And I mean, there's a lot of variations that I've done on this over the last year or so. Where I'll decide I have to do other things in addition to just getting to the Nether and growing food. You can take eggs with you if you find them. You cannot take chickens. Trees are definitely important. I usually have rules that I'll set for myself, like I have to, when I get there, I have to amass a certain amount of, lumber of different types, or I have to, kill a ghast, or I even had one where I had to have enough materials with me that I could make a portal back. Just little ways that you can further challenge yourself, but this one is pretty quick. Just to get to the Nether and grow food, it takes about half hour to 45 minutes. I'm going to kill the chicken just because I'm tired of listening to the chicken. But I guess I can take the feather. Oh, hey, here we go. Another chicken. The feather could be useful, but the chicken itself has to go. Can't have any food. Seed is very important. Everything grows much slower in the Nether. So if you are going to survive, you're going to need to, you can't plant a little farm of 5 or 6 seeds and expect to make it. You need a decent sized farm. But of course, this whole time I'm burning through food. There's a cost. Now, people that maybe haven't played the game for as long are going to wonder, how in the world, in a single food bar, are you going to be able to, find diamonds, make a pickaxe, get obsidian? But there's a lot of other ways. I have done it that way. I've had a few games where I was lucky enough and I did happen upon, like 3 or 4 diamonds. You can use, what I usually use is pouring lava with a bucket and then pour water on top of it, and it turns into obsidian, so you can basically make the shape you want to make the portal. Dirt is very valuable when you're in the Nether, and especially as things start to get larger. Again, I'm thinking toward some of the more difficult challenges where you have to have a farm of a certain size, or you have to accumulate so many stacks of wheat. in those cases, you're going to need a lot of dirt, because at a certain point you're finally going to have enough seed where you can have a large farm. But if you only brought, let's say, 20 pieces of dirt with you, then you're screwed, because you can't make a farm any larger than that. And you're going to want to have some of your dirt dedicated to growing trees. So I've really doomed myself some games where I'd get to the Nether, everything would seem fine, and I would have forgotten to stock up on dirt. I remember one game I did so well, and then when I actually got to the Nether and started setting everything up, I had, I think, 6 or 7 pieces of dirt with me, because I made a mistake and started to use it to build things before I got to the Nether. I was using it to basically get myself out of a really deep hole, and man, I was not happy with myself after all that work. All right. Oh, I forgot. All right, that it didn't really affect anything yet, but had I forgotten to change that until nighttime, that would have kind of messed up this test. Okay, I only have 11 seeds. I would like to get more since I am actually in a clearing here. Now, I'm going to make this pretty easy on myself. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I have to take the following list of items with me into the Nether. You know, sand, snowballs. There's usually you can make yourself a list that will force you to travel. Oh, I am going to need gravel. Oh, and hey, look at that clay. Oh, now that was lucky. So had this been one where I needed clay, that would have made my life very easy, because usually that's one of the harder things to find when you're, when you need it. More trees. All right. 39 seeds should be fine. If I can find a cave that's already built or already formed or whatever that I can just travel down into, that's going to save me a lot of work. So that is what I'm looking for next. Actually, any more? A little bit more wood. Man, there's chickens everywhere. This is good though, because I've had plenty of challenges where I told myself I had to kill a ghast before I could, before I could win. And if you don't have any feathers with you, that really, really sucks to try to build traps to, lure a ghast down near the floor so you can attack it with a sword. But I have noticed that almost every time I do one of these challenges, depending on how I've set the rules for myself in advance, that somehow the game world just knows, and it will give me everything that would have worked out perfectly for one of the other challenges. So that's just the way it is. Here we go. Nope. Spoke too soon. Can't wait for it. Might as well just go down. Now what I'm hoping is that I run into a cave system. Because in addition to those being good ways to find iron that's right on the surface, I'm going to run into a problem if I can't find any skeletons. Because actually waiting around for your food to grow in the Nether, like, let's say I arrive there and I only have, maybe one shank worth of life left. I'm going to starve to death long before I can, grow food. Oh, I guess I should have mentioned that too. Another one of the rules is, that you don't use the game's, I guess, the loopholes to get around starvation. For example, if you sit and never move, you're not going to burn through your food. But that's kind of against the whole point of this test or this challenge. So if you have to, if you arrive in the Nether and you have a half a shank left, and you can technically just sit there and not move at all to get around, having any problems, it's considered a loss. I mean, at that point, you did run out. You just are kind of using the game to, get around it. So usually I'll spend my time out, you've got to fight stuff, explore. So what you need is a little bit of bone meal. Well, hopefully a lot of bone meal. You can take that with you, and that way you can get, your first loaf of bread. Usually that's all you need. You get one loaf of bread that can keep you alive long enough to, get out, to wait out the time it's going to take for you to grow anything. Oh, and I set myself on the darkest possible graphics settings. It's probably a little bit annoying watching the video, but it makes it a little bit more difficult in my opinion. Ow. Alright, I didn't think there was going to be a gap there. Now really the only reason I have coal is just for the very first time that I'm going to be smelting my iron. But I really want to get that water while I'm here. I'm still getting a little bit of lag from the video recording, and I really hope that it is actually working this time, especially the audio, because I found out what happened the last time I tried to record. I have a nice microphone, and the microphone apparently died, just the hardware of it. Every time I plug it in, it says it can't read from the device. So that was why my audio did not record last time. And it's a shame too, because I am not going to go out and buy another one. No idea where he is. I rarely ever record anything, so I went a long time without using that microphone. I'd kind of been talked into buying it by a friend, and I guess he was thinking I would use it a whole lot. I mean, oh, there we go. It is nice to have it, it's just, I don't know how long it's been broken. The fighting stuff's a lot scarier when you've got lag. Okay, so I'm already down 2 shanks worth of food. It's not really a good thing. But before I travel too far, I was hoping I was going to run into some nice veins of iron like this, but before I get too far, I need to stop what I'm doing, get some of this cooking, because I need enough iron that I can go back and get that water while I'm here. Because more than likely, I am going to be using a single bucket of water to turn lava into obsidian. And if I find myself later, at a big section or a big area of lava, but I don't have any water, then I'm screwed. And if it's here, I'd rather use it. Oops. I hit that by accident. I normally have a rule against using F3 to see my position as well, just because that makes life a lot easier. And the whole point of this is to be hard. Well, that's awesome. Let's just seal that. I have had times where I had everything that I needed, and I was killed at the portal. And that's always really sad. I hear a skeleton. I want him. But yeah, I've been doing these for a while. I've never really seen anybody on YouTube do anything quite the same. And it seemed like this was an obvious way to challenge yourself. So who knows? Maybe people just needed the idea if they didn't already have it. And I do hope that other people will, try these out and have fun with them. Maybe even post some videos, because it can be really exciting to watch somebody barely make it. I mean, it's rare to have any situations in Minecraft where a person barely survives some type of a challenge, because either you're watching people who aren't very good at the game, or the people who are good at the game, so that nothing's going to stop them. It's just no challenge. These guys are around here somewhere. So yeah, it's nice to have a challenge that even experienced players are going to have some difficulty with. Well, I'm 3 shanks down. I really want to get some more bone meal. He's got to be like right around this corner. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he's underneath me. Or in here? Oh, let's not do that. Oh, another interesting challenge for those who've never tried it and are just looking for ways to make things more difficult. Play Minecraft where you are not allowed to break any stone whatsoever. So what you have to do is, early game is when it's really hard. You have to lure creepers near something, get them to explode, and just pick up whatever drops. So you can only ever build with dirt, and especially to get iron tools, things like that. Well, I guess I should change that. You can't dig out anything except dirt. So trees, iron, coal, everything else, you have to get creepers to blow it up until you have enough to get tools and weapons and things, not pickaxes and stuff, because you can't. They're useless to you if you're not allowed to dig them out. And I'm a little bit surprised at how hard it is to talk while playing at the same time. I find myself just rambling, but it's because I can tell I'm kind of talking on autopilot. I feel like I should be saying something, but I don't know what. I don't think I'm going to find the skeleton in time. I am 4.5 shanks down. This is starting to get to a dangerous level. Get the last of this iron. I mean, everybody's probably thinking this is more iron than you need. Well, that is true. I'd like to be able to build myself a full set of armor. And then I've had situations where I, at the last second, accidentally screwed up and lost my water bucket, and had to have enough iron to build, what was it, 10 buckets? Yeah, 10 buckets, just to actually transport 10 buckets worth of lava up to the surface where there was water, and then, you know, make a portal that way. So I mean, there's a lot of times where you have to change things up at the last second, and you didn't plan on it. So I tend to err on the side of caution and get a few extra things that I probably don't need, only because, you know, historically they have saved me more than they've hurt me. It's hard to stop. But I must. Let's see. Here's where the creeper was. So if I go up, this should be where I left everything. Haven't heard anything in a while. No skeletons. And I was really hoping I had 2 more pieces of iron than I actually do. I didn't judge that right. Okay. What I want is 2 iron buckets would be nice. Oh, I guess I'm going to need, yeah, and then 1 flint. But I guess I should toss 2 more in there so I can make myself a sword. Five shanks left. It'd be kind of fun to do this as a challenge with like 2 people. You know, have 2 people competing against each other to see who can get to the Nether first with the whatever list is that people come up with. It'd be kind of cool. Alright, now there's been lava all over here. I shouldn't have any trouble finding more. And it's hard to pass up the gold and the lapis because there's a lot of times where I'll challenge myself to have a certain amount of those as well. And redstone. Oh yeah. Don't have an iron pickaxe. Making sure I don't have anything behind me. I have had quite a few times, I'm sure we all have, where a creeper blows up behind you and throws you into the lava. Or even just a zombie hitting you, because that's fun too. This isn't too bad. I mean, I have 4.5 now shanks of food left, but what makes me nervous, or what I'm not happy about, is the fact that I have only one thing of bone meal. That is not good. So for the sake of this video, I'm probably going to have to allow myself to use mushroom stew, which doesn't, it's not an instant, way to win, because there's a lot of times you're going to find that there's only one type of mushroom, or you can't find any. I mean, that certainly happens. And I'd rather not use precious dirt. Yeah, precious dirt. I'd rather not use precious dirt to build with. I don't know if the video is going to pick up the lag, because it may lag everything equally, but I'm probably going to get myself killed at some point just because I'll lag at the worst possible moments. There we go. Oh, and then take a little bit of this with me. For, fuel. You gotta cook stuff, right? Bucket of lava is a lot better than the little bit of coal that I have, which I would much rather use for torches. Man, and now's where I have to make the decision. Do I want to go back and try to find more skeletons? Nope. Alright, so the way the rules work for this challenge, once you enter the Nether, that is it. You're not going back. So I need to be self-sufficient with what I have with me. Now, I believe I was high enough up, just vertically in the overworld. If you are at the bottom, at the very, very bottom, like near bedrock, and you create a portal, there is a chance you're going to spawn underneath one of those lava oceans. Like you'll be in a cave, but you are completely surrounded by lava. If you dig up at lava, if you dig to the sides, eventually you hit lava, and you're just completely screwed. That has happened to me countless times. Alright, this is a good area. I am happy with this. Wow. Big enough that I can grow trees. Very little chance that a ghast is going to, show up and start bombing the crap out of everything. That could be a problem. Yeah, but when that flows down here, that's going to be an issue. Yeah, at some point that's all coming down. Oh, and yeah, no mushrooms to be found, at least not yet. Wow, this is just... I'm sure nobody's impressed. But having done many of these challenges, this is an amazing area. It really is. Alright, it's time to set up shop. I do not have as much lumber with me as I would have liked. And I'm not going to get fancy yet and dig down and make the farm look amazing. Wow, it's lagging. Oh, well, there's the lava. I did get to cheat a little bit there and use the lag to my advantage, and dig out that hole just so the lava doesn't spread everywhere. So yeah, a little bit of cheating, I guess. I've had challenges in the past where I forced myself to attack the pigmen. So basically I couldn't just leave them as neutral like they are. As long as you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. But yeah, things get a lot more complicated when you tell yourself that you have to fight them whenever they're within range of you. And I see the red mushrooms back there. Lots of lag. I'll get the farm going. I'll go exploring. Should put a few more torches down first, but I'll go exploring. Hopefully find a fortress. Because if I can find a fortress, I might find some of the wither skeletons, which I believe is what they're called. Plan this out well. There we go. Now, what I'll eventually do is, or what I would eventually do, is grab the glowstone that was back there and use the glowstone. Oh, crap. Alright. With only 3 bone meal, I could use 2 of them to make this one harvestable, and then have 1 more that's pretty much this. If I do that, I still have to wait for a 3rd one to grow from scratch. So I'm far better off spending 1 bone meal on each of these 3. I don't know if that makes sense, but that tends to be the way to do it. Got this egg here, that could potentially be valuable. Alright, and I'm going to need some trees at some point. So let's just get a few of those going. Alright, so hopefully all of these things will grow. Oh, I'm not going to attack the pigmen. It's more trouble than it's worth right now, I think. Do I have... Yeah, I've got full armor. So that's all set. Just gonna get some of this stuff out of my hands. A lot of this is junk that I just never use. Yeah. Well, the reason that I'm trying to get some of this stuff out of my hands also is that if I find myself traveling a long distance, let's say, and I have to collect a bunch of... Sorry, I'm still having trouble thinking and doing it at the same time. Let's say I find myself a fortress and I'm traveling through it and I'm collecting a lot of good stuff. Maybe I'm even collecting stuff in chests. Every now and then you get lucky and you find chests. The worst thing is to hit a point where you can't collect the stuff out of the next few chests because you just don't have any inventory room and you have to travel a long way to get back. Normally it's not that big of an issue, just uses up time. But in this challenge, you're constantly in a battle between how much energy are you expending. So walking around the Nether over long distances to take stuff back to your base, that burns through food. I'm glad I'm not fighting the pigmen because that would make my life a lot harder right now. But yeah, that glowstone is very useful. I usually put a layer of it a couple blocks above my farm, and I mean, I don't know if it actually makes it faster. I like to think that it makes it grow faster. Nice. There's the other mushrooms. It might be one of those things where, you know, it makes no difference between that and torches, but, you know, it looks cooler. You feel like you've accomplished more by doing it, so it might all just be in my head. Of course, I did not bring the crafting table with me. Alright, I guess it's worth going back for that. No, you know what? It's not. I'll have more later. I'll have more wood when I get back. But you can see how much easier it makes it when you allow yourself to use the mushroom stew, which is why a lot of the times I don't. I guess I'm hoping that I can find a fortress right away just to kind of show off what type of things you might be able to find in it. For making stairs and things, that's a good idea when you're trying not to burn energy. So rather than jump, you can just walk up some stairs. If you happen to have enough wood with you when you start off, you can build them out of wood. They do tend to burn up because it's really rare to build one of these bases and have, you know, 10 different times where a ghast will show up and just start lobbing fireballs in there and burn all your trees down and everything. So I like to build them out of brick if I can, but you don't have a lot of cobblestone, at least you don't have an infinite supply. So you can take buckets of lava, which of course you can get down there and grab lava, and you can burn this netherrack, or you can cook it in the furnace and turn that into the nether brick, and you can make stairs out of the nether brick. It's also a good way to build where the ghast won't blow it up, because I'm pretty sure the nether brick, just like cobblestone, is also immune to the ghast shots. And I didn't pick up those mushrooms back there, and I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm kind of wrapping this up because I'm allowing the stew, I've pretty much, you know, won just from that. I'm kind of a little frustrated at myself for even allowing myself to do that, because it made it way too easy. Oh, here we go. So I'd like to see, would I have survived had I not, you know, allowed myself to use the mushroom stew. So if I can find a wither skeleton in here and have it drop a bone, then I would have been able to run back to that base in time and finish growing the food. I don't think he likes me. A little bit. I don't really have enough. I don't really have enough wood to waste on making ladders right now. I wish I did though. I wish I'd have turned down my game volume. Well, there's almost certainly a spawner up here. taken the time to come up here and tear this thing up. They're all managed. I need to be able to judge how high I went. Wow, there's a lot of them. Alright, let me climb up here. Need to approach this from a different angle. Now this is actually dangerous to do in the Nether, to just tunnel up like this. This has gotten me killed. But why not, right? Just trying to see if how I would have done. So yeah, let's see. If I get killed, it doesn't matter. I usually also leave torches as I go through the Nether, just so that I can find my way back easier, because you don't want to get lost, because you die then. Since you're usually, you know, desperately worried about food. There's some skeletons. Alright. Oh, regular ones too. That's kind of nice. What's the plan? What's the plan? So they've all decided to fight me now instead of each other. That last guy took off. Fortunately, I think these skeletons are going to see me. I thought that was a lot closer to the ground. Well, oh wait, this, no, I go down this way. Here we go. Ooh. This should be okay. Bet you I can. Yeah, don't run. Here we go. So the skeleton's above me, which is very valuable, but I would like to see what's in the chests first. Diamonds. When I have the challenges where I have to be able to come back, finding obsidian in these is how I usually will do it. Because it's really, really rare that I'm in the overworld that I'm able to find diamonds to actually collect obsidian before I come down here. So usually I have to collect obsidian this way and then come back that, using that method. So they're all still above me, huh? Guess so. So that's... no, it's dead end. I was hoping it was stairs. do it this way, but... Well, I guess I can't do it that way. How do you get above this place? Nice. Crap, didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that either. Guess it's better than dying. Oh yeah, they're dead. Alright, so I have collected what now? 2 more bones. That would have been more than enough. Single arrow. So not enough to save me from a ghast. Usually they take 2. But yeah, I could have gotten back. So, which way was home? This is why I usually like to put torches everywhere, because you can see off in the distance the torches. But, yep. So I think I'm going to end this now, so that I'm not tempted to continue playing. Whee! Alright. Okay, so, in short, I shortchanged myself by allowing the stew, because I really didn't need it. I would have been just fine had I gone out and searched. I think I would have gotten back with probably just the tiniest little bit of food left, because of course it uses up energy to go out and fight the stuff too, to collect the bone meal. I've had many times where I was actually starving. I was at the point where your food's gone, and every 3 seconds you're losing more food or more health. I was in that countdown where you're going to die, and I was at a crafting table putting together a bowl, or putting together the wheat to make bread, and then to put it in my hands and to eat it. I've had times where I survived that with maybe a heart or 2 of health left, and I've had times where I died before I could finish eating by holding down the button for the eat animation. Like, that's how close. And that's the kind of thing that I miss from Minecraft when you don't challenge yourself with these types of things, because those are the times when, yeah, you put an hour in and you died at that last second, but that's an awesome story. That you can think back to how cool it was and how close you had, or how close you came to dying, or whatever. So this is the type of excitement that a lot of people miss from the game once you've been playing for a long time. So it's a cool challenge to try, and I look forward to seeing videos from other people. Take care.